Hi guys, so I originally had a different video planned for today, but on doing some backup research for that video, I came across a story that happened so recently. I literally jumped up, went to my laptop, and just started recording all of the information that is out there, because a lot of these stories are years old or a couple years old, and it's hard to say this, but it seems kind of like helpless when it's been so long since something happened to try to make a difference. It's definitely a helpless feeling. But this story, you guys, happened on January 1st, 2020. Like, New Year's Day is such like a fun day for a lot of people. We have a lot of resolutions. A lot of us are overcoming some hangovers from the night before. But this girl went missing on January 1st, 2020. And when I tell you the story and I tell you the statistics, you guys are going to be so pissed off as I am, because I live in Billings, Montana. I am currently living in Montana, if you guys did not know. And I didn't even hear about this story. And if you guys have never been to Montana, it is so beautiful, but you can literally, where I live in Billings, I can get anywhere in 15 minutes. It literally takes you 15 minutes to get from anywhere in Billings, Montana, right off the freeway to all the way up to the airport. It takes you 15 minutes. Not 15 minutes exactly, but it takes less than 15 minutes to get anywhere. So coming from a place like Arizona, where it takes you 45 minutes to get anywhere, this is why I loved Billings, Montana, because it just seemed so small. So the fact that all of these missing girls are going missing mind blows me and scares the absolute crap out of me, because there's not that many girls out here. So let's get started. I'm done rambling. I'll ramble at the end if you guys want to stay for that. So Selena Shelley Faye Not Afraid, or she also goes by Selena Bell or Selena Not Afraid if you want to look her up. She was 16 years old. She lived with her mother on the Crow Reservation near Billings, Montana, and she was a part of the Crow and the Nakota tribe. She was 5'9", 133 pounds, so she was super tall and very skinny. Definitely could have been a model. She was absolutely gorgeous, had the most bright smile. You can just tell this girl is so positive. Her friends said she loved to ride horses and play basketball, and just look at these pictures of her. I mean, she is just drop dead gorgeous. She has a beautiful smile, beautiful cheekbones, beautiful hair, like just a beautiful girl. Not to mention she's 5'9". That is the requirement to be a model. I know, I used to model when I was younger, and once I stopped growing at 5'6", they said, nope, you're out, minimum's 5'9". So she definitely could have been a model. That's how gorgeous this girl is. So let's just take you through what went down. What happened for her to go missing on January 1st, 2020. So she spent New Year's with some friends at a party, not out of the ordinary. She was 16 years old. I'm pretty sure everyone and their mom partied when they were 16 years old, especially on New Year's. I have some stories, let me tell you, from New Year's parties. But she spent New Year's with some friends, and she was getting a ride back to Hardin, Montana. And Hardin, Montana is not the nicest part. It's very, very small, but it is not a good part of town. So apparently she didn't really know these people too well, but she was getting a ride back with them. It's stated that she didn't go willingly. So I feel like an altercation broke out in the car. They say that the van broke down and that they were able to get it to start again. But in the meantime, they left Selena and her other Native American friend at the rest stop off of the I-90. Stop leaving girls, period. So the driver said that he would have someone else pick them up, but when the lady came to get the girls from this rest stop, there was only one girl, and it was Selena's friend. Selena was nowhere to be found. And let's just paint the picture for today. It's around 2 p.m. It's New Year's Day. We're in Montana. It's about 30 degrees outside. I'm pretty sure there might have been snow. I'm not sure. There's definitely snow out now, but it was just her friend with no shoes on, and her legs all scraped up as if she was running through the field, because in the rest area, we've all been there, there's usually, it's in the middle of nowhere, okay? So there's fields around it and stuff. So she looked like she had been running through the field with no shoes on in 30-degree weather, and hiding in a ditch. This rest area is on the Interstate 90 between Billings and Hardin, Montana. I have driven down to Utah to get my puppy, if you guys remember. It's basically a straight shot. I feel like the reason why these girls are going missing is because rest areas and like reservations are out in the middle of nowhere. There's all these truck drivers, semi drivers, and you could literally grab somebody and be 4 states away in a couple hours, less than a day. You could be states away. That's why if you guys do not live in Billings, Montana, don't think that you just don't have to look. This girl could be anywhere. She was picked up on an interstate, which means she could go anywhere. Actually, I shouldn't say that. She went missing by an interstate. She didn't get picked up by an interstate. That is not a fact, but she went missing by an interstate. So our only assumption is that she got abducted because her family and everyone has done extensive searches. Authorities have done extensive searches and they can't find her anywhere. They even went over with a drone and they could see bunnies and everything, and if she would have been in that field, they would have seen her, and she's not there. So our only assumption is to assume that she got picked up at that rest stop by some creepy driver. So Selena was last seen wearing a, let me get this right. She was last seen wearing a black coat, a gray sweater, blue jeans, and gray ankle boots, which was not nearly enough to go hiking in this weather because not only is it 30 degrees, but in Montana you also have like 20-mile-per-hour winds. So that 30 degrees is amplified by 20-mile-per-hour winds and it's freezing. I remember I went out New Year's Eve in Montana and it was a bone-chilling cold. I'm talking winds blowing, it's freezing outside, like it is unbearably cold. So if she was out there, I don't know if she would have survived the temperatures. Like, if you guys have never been to a cold state, it's cold. So Selena has a scar on her mouth and she also has a cross on her middle finger. So if you guys happen to see anything, if you guys happen to see a girl that even looks like her, notify authorities. They have no leads on this, besides the fact that her friends and the people that are in that van are giving different stories of what happened. All of their stories are conflicting. They do not have the same story of the events that took place. And her friend said that some guy came in a green car and tried to get them to get in the car with him, like, hey, do you want to ride? And if you're standing outside at a rest area and it's freezing cold and some guy comes up and asks you to give you a ride, like, they are the most vulnerable to, I don't know her friend's age. Authorities will not say their names or ages or anything, but to, let's just assume 16, around that area, underage girls at a rest stop by themselves. Their friends left them. It's freezing cold outside. It would be the prime opportunity for a creeper to come up and be like, hey, you guys want to ride? I have been left by my friend. You guys would know if you watch my Vegas story. My friends left me at a club and I had to walk down the strip at 3 a.m. by myself in the cold. And there were a lot of people that were pulling over and asking me if I could get in their car or if I needed a ride. No, no, no. So these girls take off and go running into the field. I'm guessing her friend lost her shoes somewhere running and apparently lost sight of Selena and doesn't know what happened, which is just suspicious all in itself. We don't know if this guy got out of his car and started running after her and hit the friend over the head and knocked her unconscious for a little bit. We don't know what happened, but all she knows is after this green car asked to give them a ride, Selena's gone and has not been found for 16 days. So the authorities have set out a BOLO alert, be on the lookout for Selena, but they have not issued an Amber Alert because they're still doing their own investigation. This is a 16-year-old girl we have missing. I hate to bring stereotypes into this because it's so old, especially from Native people, because first of all, this was our country first. Yes, I'm half Native American. You wouldn't be able to tell by my hair, but this was our country first. And they give these poor people the worst part of the land, the worst section for the reservations half the time, not a good part of town. They don't let their police officers have any authority. I heard a kid say last night to me, Oh yeah, like he was just talking, he's like, oh yeah, if you're a white man and you're driving through the reservation, you don't have a speed limit, you don't have any rules because they can't do anything to you. And that's true. Native official authorities have no legislature over white people going through their reservation. So white people think that they can just go there and do whatever the heck they want, steal these girls, murder these girls, and not have any consequences, because what are you gonna do, basically? And it's just so disgusting that the government does not give these people the right to take action when crimes like this happen. Like, it's just so frustrating. And the fact that she's from 2 different tribes, they have to like work out who's responsible for her, basically. Like, thank God the FBI is involved, because in the case I was going to do, and Ashley Heavy Runner, they didn't get involved for like 9 months. So it's refreshing to see that they're involved, but the parents and the family still feels like there's not enough being done. And when I say Montana's small, like, I'm pretty sure there's only 3 cops in Billings. I've only ever seen 3. So how are they going to be able to deal with this stuff? It's just, there's not enough being done. And then with the reservations playing a part, the US most of the time is just like, oh, your problem, your tribe, your land, go deal with that. Not our problem. It's just so frustrating. But anyways, she happened to be a huge activist for the murdered, missing Indigenous woman. She was a huge advocate for this. Her older sister got hit by a hit and run and left to die on the highway. Her twin sister, yes, she was a twin, her twin sister committed suicide in 6th grade at 11 years old. And then her older brother got shot by police. So 3 out of her siblings have died tragic deaths. And now their 16-year-old daughter is missing. Could you imagine, like, how much more can this family take? Thankfully, the Crow tribe chairman met with Donald Trump and he signed a bill, an executive order to investigate and prevent missing and murdered Native women. But the operation is just called Operation Lady Justice. Really? Really? Lady Justice. Like, clearly there needs to be more done about missing Indigenous women, okay? Not ladies, women, Indigenous, missing. I live in Montana and I didn't even hear about this story. Is that a coincidence? I think not. So let's just get down to the statistics. In 2019, there was 300 cases of missing Native American girls. That's 1 year. 300 girls missing just in Montana, not anywhere else in the US. That's just the statistic in Montana. Montana's not that big. There's hardly anyone in any city I've been to in Montana. There is hardly anyone. The cities are so small. So how are all of these Native girls going missing, and where are they going? Native Americans are 6.7% of Montana's population, yet 26% of it is missing. Like, it's just, it makes my blood boil. It is so frustrating. That's why I'm partially shocked that Trump like passed the bill. I'm partially shocked he did that a couple months ago. So the family, probably as you're watching this, is sitting at that rest stop in an RV just waiting for any sign of their daughter, of Selena. Any sign, search crews, you name it. They're just waiting for something to be done. Could you imagine waiting at a rest stop knowing your kid got taken from there and just hoping they show up? Let me put it in this perspective. Have you guys ever lost a dog? And I don't like using this, but I need you guys to feel, because I feel like the world is so not bothered by things, and it's just like, oh, missing girl, oh, Amber Alert, sure, I'll repost that just so people. No. Have you guys ever lost your dog? You come home, your dog's nowhere to be found. You go outside, you're in the backyard, you're looking in the front yard, you're looking down your street in your neighborhood, no sign of your dog. Do you guys remember the panic, the anxiety that you feel when you don't know where your dog is and you're just hoping that someone finds them and calls you and says, hey, I have your dog, but you're running around, or at least I am. I'm running around like just bolting up and down the street looking for my dog, calling its name. Imagine if that was your kid and how helpless you would feel on an interstate, not knowing how many hours down the road they are. What state are they in? States. What state could my daughter possibly be in? Could you imagine how helpless you would feel? That's what this family has to go through. That's what hundreds of families have to go through. Not knowing where their kid is in the world. Not knowing if they're in a sex ring, if they're murdered, if they're buried. No idea, just hoping that someone will see them, someone will say something, someone will do anything. If you guys happen to see this girl, even if you think it's someone that looks like her, call the authorities, because that could be your daughter. It's just very urgent that you guys get this story out there, because she just went missing 16 days ago. This is fresh. 2 weeks ago she went missing. She can still be found. She can still be brought home. There is no sign that she got murdered in that field or anything happened. So chances are that she got taken in a car, and she is probably in one of the surrounding states, from Arizona to Montana. Anywhere in there she could be. So it's so crucial that you guys pay attention. Look at girls. If you see a beautiful girl with a big smile and long beautiful hair, 5'9", 130 pounds. I know anyone that walks anywhere and sees a girl that looks like her would do a double take. At least I do. Wow, that girl is so pretty. Wow, she's so tall. Wow, she's so skinny. Just pay attention. Look for signs. We are the only hope that this family has. They do not feel like the government is doing enough, because she's a Native American woman and they didn't even issue an Amber Alert for her. So it's so crucial that if you guys are watching this video, to just keep your eyes out in Walmart and Target, in the grocery store. Just look for things. Look for anything sketchy. When you're driving in the car, look at the surrounding cars. See if you see a girl. See if you see a green car. See if you see this girl. It is so, so important. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will leave all the information down below, and also a couple videos of this guy that got the point across, but he definitely, you could tell how passionate he is about this, and I appreciate that 100%. So I will leave his videos down below, and any information you guys want, make sure you call the number down below if you guys see anything or any sign of Selena. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.